Hello, I'm Brian. Before we start, I just want to say thanks you guys for the support, especially those who were with me from day one. There were times I wanted to stop, but you guys encouraged me to continue. I just want to let you know it means a lot to me knowing someone cares. All right, without wasting your time, let's get into the video.
This is you. You were born in 1961 in Honolulu, a place where palm trees grow but dreams die young if your skin is the wrong shade.
Your dad is a Kenyan economist with big ideas and bigger demons.
Your mom is a white girl from Kansas who fell in love with the wrong man according to her family.
They give you a name that sounds foreign to American ears, a Muslim name in a Christian country, a black name in a white world.
You're mixed, not white enough for white people, not black enough for black people. You're a glitch in the system.
Your dad leaves when you're 2, just dips, back to Kenya to chase political power and bottle after bottle.
You don't have memories of him, just a mythology your mom builds to fill the void.
Your father was brilliant, she tells you.
He could have changed the world.
Past tense.
Could have. That's the refrain of your childhood. Potential that evaporates like steam. Your mom remarries, an Indonesian man. You move to Jakarta. You're 6 years old, eating street food and dodging poverty like it's a sport. You see kids your age begging, starving, dying from diseases that have cures in America. You learn early that the world is rigged, geography is destiny, and you were born on the wrong side of the line. At 10, your mom ships you back to Hawaii to live with your grandparents, white grandparents. They love you, but they don't understand you. Your grandfather is a WW2 vet who calls you Bar because your full name is too complicated. Your grandmother works at a bank. She's kind, but you see how people look at you when you're with her.
The questions in their eyes, the math not adding up.
You go to an elite prep school on scholarship. You're one of the only black kids. The teachers expect you to be good at basketball, bad at math. When you excel at both, they're surprised, like you're defying nature. You learn to code switch, talking proper around white people, talking street around the few black kids you meet.
You're a chameleon, but chameleons don't have a true color. They just survive by pretending.
At night, you're alone in your room reading everything you can find. Malcolm X, James Baldwin, Frederick Douglass. You're searching for a blueprint,
a map for how to exist as a black man in America without getting destroyed.
The books don't have answers, just rage, just pain, just warnings. You start smoking weed, then trying coke, not because you're weak, because you're lost.
You're 16 and you have no idea who you're supposed to be.
The high gives you a few hours where the questions stop, where the identity crisis pauses, but the drugs are a trap.
You see where that road leads. Dead friends, prison, wasted potential.
Your grandfather's phrase haunts you, could have. You choose college, Occidental in LA.
Then Columbia in New York. You study political science. You're good at it. Too good. You understand power, how it flows, how it's hoarded, how it's weaponized. You realize the system isn't broken. It's working exactly as designed to keep people like you out. But here's where you're different. Most people who see the system either burn out or burn it down. You choose a third option. You decide to infiltrate it, to become so undeniable that they have no choice but to let you in. Then, once you're inside, you change it from within. You graduate. You could go to Wall Street, make money, disappear into the machine, but you don't. You move to Chicago, South Side, the neighborhoods white people avoid. You become a community organizer. It pays nothing, less than nothing. But you're not there for money. You're there to learn the streets, to understand how power works at the ground level. You meet families who can't get clean water, kids who go to schools with no books, mothers who work 3 jobs and still can't feed their children. You see the system from the bottom up, and you see something the elites don't. These people aren't weak. They're warriors. They survive conditions that would break senators and CEOs in 48 hours. You apply to Harvard Law School. They accept you. You're one of the first black editors of the Harvard Law Review. It's a big deal, national news. But you don't celebrate. You know it's tokenism. They're letting one in to prove the door is open, while keeping it closed for thousands of others. At Harvard, you're surrounded by the children of power, kids whose parents are senators, judges, CEOs. They're not smarter than you. They're just connected. They know the game because they were born inside it. You have to learn it from scratch. every unspoken rule, every subtle signal, every code word. You graduate, top of your class. Law firms offer you obscene money, $200K starting. In 1991, that's generational wealth. You could take it, pay off your loans, buy your grandparents a house, disappear into corporate law. But you don't. You go back to Chicago. You teach constitutional law. You do civil rights work. You make $30K a year. Your friends think you're insane, but you're playing a longer game. You're building credibility, street cred, and ivory tower cred. You can talk to gang members and Supreme Court justices. You can code switch between worlds most people don't even know exist. You're becoming fluent in every dialect of power. At 35, you run for Illinois State Senate. You're a nobody, running against a machine politician who's held the seat for 20 years. You knock on doors, thousands of them. You listen more than you talk. You learn that politics isn't about ideas, it's about trust, and trust takes time. You win, barely. You go to Springfield, the state capital. You're the youngest guy in the room, the only one who looks like you. The old guard treats you like a mascot. They give you bullshit committees, parks and recreation, minor bills. They're testing you, seeing if you'll quit. You don't. You work every angle. You befriend Republicans. Shock, you actually talk to the opposition. You find common ground on criminal justice reform, on healthcare. You pass bills, small ones, but you're building a record. You're proving you're not just a symbol, you're a legislator. Then comes the break. Illinois needs to send someone to the U.S. Senate. The Democratic primary is wide open. Every advisor tells you not to run. You're too young, too inexperienced, too black. But you see the opening. The mood of the country is shifting. People are tired of the same old faces. They want change. They just don't know it yet. You announce your candidacy. The media treats you like a joke. A state senator from Chicago thinks he can be a U.S. senator? The polls show you in 5th place, single digits. You're DOA. But you have a secret weapon. You can speak. Not politicians speak, not the rehearsed sound bites. Real oratory, the kind that makes people feel something. You grew up reading Malcolm and Baldwin. You studied MLK's cadence. You know how to build a speech like a symphony, how to move from whisper to thunder. The Democratic National Convention in 2004. You're invited to give the keynote speech. This is it, your shot. 16 minutes to introduce yourself to America. You write the speech yourself, every word. You practice it 50 times. You know exactly where to pause, where to crescendo, where to let silence do the work. The night of the speech, you walk on stage. 20,000 people in the arena, millions watching around the world. You're 43 years old, a nobody from Chicago, and you're about to change history. You speak. There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America. The crowd erupts. You keep going. There is not a Black America and White America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America. People are crying, standing, cheering. You're not just giving a speech, you're offering a vision, a country that could exist if we choose it. Hope over fear, unity over division, the possible over the impossible. When you finish, the arena is on its feet. The applause lasts 5 minutes. Backstage, political operatives are already whispering, that guy could be president. You win your Senate race in a landslide. You're the only black senator, the 5th in U.S. history. You're 43, and you've just begun. 2 years later, you do something insane. You announce you're running for president of the United States. You, a black man with a Muslim name in post-9/11 America. Your advisors think you're committing career suicide. Your wife thinks you're crazy. Your friends stage an intervention. But you see what they don't. The country is exhausted. 2 wars, economic collapse. People are drowning. They don't want competence. They want transformation. They want someone who represents a future, not a past. Your opponent in the Democratic primary is a juggernaut. She's got money, name recognition, the entire party establishment. On paper, you don't stand a chance. But you have something she doesn't. The internet, ground game, and young people who are tired of waiting their turn. You build a grassroots army. College kids, first-time voters, people who've never believed in politics. You raise money $25 at a time, millions of small donations. You're not funded by corporations, you're funded by citizens, and that changes everything. Iowa, the first primary. You win. The establishment panics. This wasn't supposed to happen. You're supposed to be a footnote, a symbolic run. But you're not playing that game. You're playing to win. The campaign gets ugly. They question your birth certificate, your religion, your patriotism. They dig into your past, the drugs, the radical friends. They're trying to disqualify you before you get too close. But here's the thing about being underestimated your whole life. You're used to it. You know how to turn it into fuel. Every attack makes your base stronger. Every dog whistle brings more people to your side. You're not just running for president. You're running against everything that said you couldn't. November 4th, 2008, election night. You're in Chicago, Grant Park. 100,000 people gathered, millions more watching around the world. The polls close. State by state, the map turns blue. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida. It's happening. At 11 p.m. Eastern, the networks call it. You are the president-elect of the United States, the first black president. The crowd goes insane. People are sobbing, strangers hugging strangers. Your wife is crying. Your daughters are too young to fully understand what just happened, but they will. You walk on stage. The weight of history is crushing. You're 43 years old, a kid from a broken home in Hawaii, mixed race, Muslim name, absent father, and you just won the most powerful position on earth.
You give your victory speech. If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, who still wonders if the dream of our founders is alive in our time, who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer. The world is watching. In Kenya, your father's village is celebrating in the streets. In Indonesia, the kids you went to school with are crying. In Chicago's South Side, the families you organized with decades ago are screaming with joy. You didn't just win an election, you shattered a ceiling that was supposed to be unbreakable. But winning is the easy part. Governing is where dreams go to die. You inherit 2 wars, an economy in free fall, banks collapsing, unemployment at 10%. The deficit is in trillions. The country is on life support. Your first day in office, you get the security briefing, the real one, the classified threats, the ongoing operations, the body count. You realize the presidency isn't power, it's a cage. Every decision you make, someone dies, or lives, or loses their home. The weight is suffocating. You try to pass healthcare reform, something every Democratic president has tried and failed to do for 50 years. You spend every ounce of political capital. You negotiate with your own party. You compromise until the bill is barely recognizable, and you still barely get it through. Republicans call you a socialist, a communist, a Kenyan. They question your citizenship, your legitimacy, your right to be there. You're the president, but they treat you like an intruder. A black man in the White House is an affront to the natural order. You get hate mail, death threats. The Secret Service intercepts plots to kill you. Your daughters can't go to school without armed guards. Your wife is criticized for everything: her arms, her garden, her advocacy. They can't attack your policies effectively, so they attack your family. Then comes the part they don't put in the history books: the drone program. You inherit it, you expand it. You become the guy who orders strikes from the Oval Office, signature strikes, killing suspected terrorists based on metadata. Sometimes you get the bad guys, sometimes you get wedding parties, children, innocent families. You tell yourself it's necessary, that you're protecting American lives, that the alternative is worse. But at night, you can't sleep. You see their faces, the collateral damage, the mothers, the kids. You've become the thing you used to protest against. You win re-election in 2012, but the shine is gone. The hope and change you promised feels like a sick joke. You couldn't close Guantanamo. You couldn't end the wars. You couldn't fix the economy fast enough. You couldn't unite the country. If anything, it's more divided than ever. The disappointment from your base is crushing. The attacks from the right are relentless.
You're governing in a permanent state of crisis. Every day is triage, putting out fires, managing disasters. You're not transforming anything, you're just surviving. Your last day in office, January 2017. You're 55 years old, 8 years older, grayer, tired. You're handing over power to a man who built his political career by questioning whether you were born in America. The irony is cruel, but that's democracy. The people chose. You go back to being a private citizen. You write books, give speeches, make money, more money than you ever imagined. You're worth millions now. You buy a house in Martha's Vineyard, you hang out with celebrities, you're part of the elite you used to critique. Your critics say you sold out, that you became another corporate Democrat, that you didn't fight hard enough, that you betrayed the movement. Your supporters say you did the best you could in an impossible system, that you were blocked at every turn, that your legacy is still being written.
The truth? It's complicated. You passed healthcare for 20 million people. You saved the auto industry. You killed bin Laden. You normalized gay marriage. You appointed progressive judges. You fought climate change. But you also deported millions. You droned thousands. You bailed out Wall Street while families lost their homes. You compromised so much that your biggest achievement is a Republican healthcare plan. Here's what they don't tell you about being first. Being first isn't about glory, it's about burden. You don't just represent yourself, you represent everyone who looks like you. Every mistake you make, they'll use it to prove people like you don't belong. Every success you have, they'll call it affirmative action. You can't just be good, you have to be perfect. And perfection is a prison. You weren't born special, you were born into impossible circumstances. Mixed race in a binary world, poor in a rich country, black in a system designed to crush you. But you learned the game, you mastered every rule, you climbed every ladder, and when you reached the top, you realized the view wasn't what you expected. The presidency doesn't change the system changes the president. You go in thinking you'll transform the world, you leave knowing the world transformed you. You become a manager, a compromise artist, a pragmatist. The fire that got you there gets extinguished by the reality of governing. But here's the thing, you opened a door. You proved it could be done. You showed a generation of black kids that they could dream bigger. You showed America that a black family could live in the White House, that a man with a Muslim name could lead the free world, that the impossible is only impossible until someone does it. 20 years from now, they'll teach your story in schools. They'll sanitize it. They'll make you a hero. They'll erase the drone strikes, the deportations, the compromises. They'll turn you into a symbol, a martyr for hope. And that's the cruelest part. You'll be remembered not for what you did, but for what you represented. This is you, the kid from Hawaii who wasn't supposed to make it, the mixed-race outsider who became the ultimate insider, the community organizer who became commander-in-chief, the first black president, not the last, just the first. Your story isn't a fairy tale, it's a warning and a promise. The warning, the system will break you if you let it. The promise, you can break the system if you're willing to pay the price. You paid it, and history will judge whether it was worth it. That's a wrap, but the story isn't over. It never is. And if you've made it this far, congratulations. You just binge-watched the origin story of a skinny kid from Hawaii who accidentally became the 44th president of the United States. Yeah, this was Barack Obama, not a comic book hero, not a villain, not a meme. A human being who walked into the White House with hope and walked out with gray hair and a Spotify playlist. That's the part we forget. We debate the policies, we argue about the drones, we fact-check the speeches, we turn 8 years into hashtags. But the real story? It's about what happens when an outsider makes it all the way inside and realizes the room has rules. Some of you think he didn't go far enough. Some of you think he went too far. And some of you are still arguing about that tan suit. That's fine. History isn't clean. It's complicated. And if you're waiting for a perfect hero, you're going to be waiting longer than Congress takes to pass a budget. But here's what matters. Doors don't open themselves. Somebody has to push. Somebody has to take the hits. Somebody has to be first. So the real question isn't was he perfect? It's this. What are you willing to risk to open a door? If this video made you think, if it made you uncomfortable, if it made you argue with your screen a little bit,
Good, that means you're awake. Subscribe if you want more stories about power, ambition, legacy, and the price tag attached to all three. Next time, we're diving into another figure who changed the system, or got changed by it. And trust me, the gray hair comes for everyone. I'll see you in the next one.